Is there currently anyone who could challenge Tesla, and how may this competition impact Tesla and its investors? Continue watching this video to find out more. The CEO of ARK Invest, Cathie Woods, offers a daring vision of a world in which electric cars rule, highlighting the significance of accepting this shift alongside fellow Tesla bulls. In the upcoming days, we'll examine how Tesla might increase your wealth. But before, please make sure to like this video. Additionally, a well-known Tesla investor shared views on Tesla stock news, stating that compared to prior years, electric vehicle sales are predicted to skyrocket in 2022. According to the most recent data, sales of electric vehicles are expected to rise by 35% in 2023, according to a new analysis on worldwide EV sales published by the International Energy Agency. The industry is expected to sell 10 million electric vehicles worldwide in 2022, and by 2023, it expects to sell 14 million vehicles, increasing its market share from 14 to 18 globally. Although the US and Europe still have a ways to go before catching up, China continues to be the market leader, accounting for 60% of all sales of electric cars in 2022. The trend is clearly heading in the right direction. Looking ahead, the IEA projects that by 2030, the share of the EV market would increase to 35%, with the US aiming for 20% of the market and Europe targeting 25%. China is predicted to maintain its current trend of holding a 40% market share. However, there are notable differences between the IEA's projections and the objectives set by American and European lawmakers. The Biden administration wants half of all cars sold in the US to be zero-emission vehicles by 2030, while Europe wants to be carbon-free by 2035. There are obstacles and unknowns in closing these gaps for the development of electric vehicles. The globe is discovering the advantages of renewable energy, and the switch to electric vehicles is happening quickly. For instance, Australia has put laws into place to encourage the usage and sale of electric vehicles. The future of electric vehicles, EVs, is still uncertain, according to analyst projections. In this article, we'll examine these predictions and look into what might lie ahead for EVs. Sales of electric vehicles have increased significantly. 3 significant markets in surge have been driving forward China in this revolution. The United States and Europe are the main participants. With 60% of all electric car sales expected to occur in China by 2022, the country has assumed a leading position in this regard. The United States and Europe trailed closely after, with notable increases of 15% and 55%, respectively, in their markets last year as global sales of electric cars surged by around 60%, hitting the 10 million milestone. For the first time, according to a recent report by the International Energy Agency, this surge means that 1 in every 7 passenger cars purchased globally in 2022 was an electric vehicle. By the end of 2021, there were more than 16.5 million electric cars on the road, and estimates suggest that by 2030, there will be nearly 350 million electric cars worldwide. However, in order to reduce the risk of supply bottlenecks and future price increases, diversifying the battery production industry and securing essential mineral sources are prerequisites for attaining this expansion. However, there is a silver lining. It is anticipated that electric car costs would drop dramatically, possibly even below their current range. Customers are probably going to become even more interested in EVs as a result of this price decrease. Many people already know that electric cars have many advantages over traditional internal combustion engine vehicles. However, time will tell if electric vehicles will eventually replace all other vehicle types. If you'd like to stay up to date on all the developments in the electric vehicle industry, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is because the demand for electric vehicles is growing. Many automakers have set high goals for producing electric vehicles in the upcoming years. BMW wants to sell 2 million electric vehicles by 2025, with the goal of having 50% of its global sales be electric by 2030. Ford also intends for half of its car sales to come from electric vehicles by 2030. Ford aims to make 600,000 electric vehicles yearly by the end of 2023, and it hopes to manufacture 270 matches annually in North America by 2024. China and Europe are 2 more significant players. By 2035, General Motors plans to exclusively sell trucks with zero emissions. As the trend toward electric vehicles picks up steam, according to a study by the Argonne National Laboratory, sales of conventional cars with internal combustion engines have decreased by 25% over the previous 5 years. As the environmental effects of gas-powered vehicles versus electric ones become more apparent, more people are considering buying an EV. The expense of an electric vehicle's upkeep and repairs in addition. Electric cars are more energy efficient than internal combustion engines, which lose 60% of their energy through heat and friction. Transit buses are 40% less expensive than equivalent-sized internal combustion engine vehicles. Aside from their inefficiency, gas-powered vehicles need a lot more energy to drive the same distance as an electric vehicle. Since electric cars have fewer moving components and less maintenance requirements, they are also more reliable. Dependence on oil, but it's crucial to remember that automakers will find it difficult to make the switch to producing electric cars because the technology involved is completely different from that of conventional automobiles. China led the market, accounting for around 60% of EV sales, which surged to over 10 million units last year. The most recent edition of the IEA's global EV projection for 2023 reveals sales statistics that break records and maintain the industry's trend of steady growth in 2022. Global sales of electric vehicles reached over 10 million last year, and this year's sales are expected to rise by another 35% to 14 million. This rapid expansion represents the notable increase in the electric car proportion of the global auto market, which went from 4 in 2020 to 14 in 2022, and is predicted to reach 18 in 2023. The International Energy Agency states that electric vehicles are essential to the developing global energy economy and are causing a historic shift in the global auto sector. The organization notes that these trends will have a significant impact on the world's oil consumption, and that internal combustion engines, which have dominated transportation for the past 100 years, are about to be challenged by electric vehicles. Additionally, the IEA projects that the initial wave of adoption of electric cars will be rapidly followed by electric buses and trucks. According to preliminary figures from the IEA, sales of electric cars, which include both battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles, exceeded 10 million units in 2022, indicating a 55% rise from 2021. There were almost 26 million electric cars on the road worldwide in 2022, a 60% increase from 2021. This figure surpasses the total number of automobiles sold in the European Union and is over half of China's total car sales in the same year. It is anticipated that the total cost of buying and maintaining an electric car would drop as battery prices decline. Additionally, as solar and wind energy sources get more expensive in comparison to coal, the cost of electricity is probably going to be lower than that of gasoline. Stock analyst and Tesla investor Cathie Wood highlights that automakers need to switch to electric vehicle production or else they risk losing market share to EV firms. She believes that while the need for oil is anticipated to decrease soon, there will be an increasing demand for electric vehicles. Another Tesla is Sony Saba. Bull emphasizes the widespread use of electric vehicles, but warns that not all producers of internal combustion engines can meet the demand for electric vehicles. He underlines that making the switch to electric vehicles involves more than simply building them. It also entails addressing the environmental effects of crucial mineral extraction for electric vehicle batteries and building a reliable and easily accessible charging infrastructure. Tony Saba, a proponent of technological disruption and convergence, believes that by 2030, there will have been a substantial shift to electric automobiles. By 2035, 100 electric vehicles will have replaced government-owned car fleets, and electric vehicles are expected to dominate the automotive sector. Similarly, by 2040, 100 electric vehicles will gradually replace privately owned light-duty vehicles with internal combustion engines. The market share of electric vehicles is predicted to increase further this decade thanks to ambitious policy initiatives like the U.S.'s Infrastructure Investment Jobs Act and the EU's Fit for 55 package. By 2030, it is predicted that the average share of sales of electric cars in China, the EU, and the U.S. will reach about 60%. For now, this concludes the video. Please consider giving this post a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to Tesla Stock News.